Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to a cool, wet Memorial Day weekend here on Whidbey Island. For now, we will be keeping the bikes and the cars in the garage because today we will be having a little update on our channel and discussing a bit of real estate information, namely the Comparative Market Analysis, or commonly known as the CMA, which in today's real estate market is important to know. Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to Realty Rides. So today's video is a little bit different. We're not going to be riding a bike today, not driving a car. We're going to do a little bit of an update on our channel. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys. For those of you that have supported me so far, thank you so much for doing that. For those of you that have given me great comments in the past few months, that's really appreciated. So right now we'll do a little update on our channel. About a month and a half ago, we brought our black Sportster in for an inspection to kind of get it started up and wired up and ready to go. Unfortunately, it failed the inspection and needed new cams, so we're going to be putting a couple months. I also had done a really interesting comprehensive airplane video with Boeing on a delivery flight that we had done about 5-6 years ago. Unfortunately, the legal department of Boeing didn't allow me to post that video, so now I can't share it with you guys. But it was a great video. It was wonderful. I was really excited to do it, but it is what it is. And yeah, you guys like the motorcycle stuff? You guys like the Porsche stuff? Oh, I had a ride in a fantastic McLaren 765 LT a few weeks ago. I'll show you guys here in the picture in a minute. I'm hoping to do a review on that car at some point if the owner gives me permission to do so. But in the meantime, today we're going to be talking about real estate. The real estate market is kind of in a transition state. We don't know if we're going to go into a buyer's market at some point. But things are definitely leveling off across the country. It's not just here in Washington State, not just in California. And right now there are prices that are overpriced, houses that are underpriced. And today we're going to talk about how to calculate the best possible price. If you're a real estate agent and you're a seller, you're trying to sell your house, you want to make sure that you're in the ballpark of where the market is probably going to be at the given time when you list your house. So today I'll try to explain what a CMA is and what my process is too. So thanks for watching, and let's get back to the video. So what exactly is a CMA? A CMA is a comparative market analysis, and it's an estimate of a home's value based on recently active, pending, and sold similar properties in the immediate area. Real estate agents and brokers create CMA reports to help sellers set listing prices for their homes, and less commonly to help buyers make competitive offers. We calculate CMAs in the following ways. We analyze the neighborhood, we evaluate the subject property, we select similar properties to the subject property, we adjust the differences, calculate sold price per square foot, and determine the subject home's value. Every real estate agent has their own way of creating one, but in today's ever-changing market, it is essential that we create different methods on how to take advantage of every possible opportunity to put the best possible price on your house listing. In this video, I will show you my process of producing a comprehensive CMA for my clients. Alright, you guys, so let's see. We're doing a CMA, a comparative market analysis. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a different kind of view. It's a point of view based upon what I actually look at here on the Washington State MLS. So first of all, we're going to talk about my subject property. I have two listings right now. One is right down the street. If you look out the window, there's our view of our bluff. This house that I'm listing is a few houses away from me, and it has a similar view of the bluff of the Puget Sound. That is choice, but my neighbor unfortunately has to sell his house, but he has the same type of view. So this is an important aspect of the CMA here. This is what's called an unobstructed view. And I will be looking for like-minded properties here in Whidbey Island, the south end, with unobstructed views. So you got waterfront, bluff, and you have territorial views. And so unobstructed views are like this. Waterfront, of course, is on the water with unobstructed views. And then you have the territorial views that our houses are a little bit placed back, that have other properties or other houses in front of the view with the view of the water as well. So that being said, let's take a look at what we have going for us right now. So the criteria is you look at your subject property. So my listing here is a bluff property with an unobstructed view. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.2 baths. Square footage 2271, so just about 2,300 square feet. The total lot size is 15,204 feet, and it's beautifully landscaped. It's got a hot tub, automatic generator attached to it, which is really important here in the Northwest because we have a lot of winds and power outages. Indoor wine cellar and a 2-car garage. So that is our house. And I know what we're trying to gauge it at, but I'm going to try to show you how we try to find those numbers. So we look here on the MLS. These are all A's stand for active. So I'll just kind of give you kind of a little rundown of what all this is. These are the list prices of the houses that are currently for sale on the market. CDOM stands for current days on market. So you can see here this one's been on the market for over a month. This house has been on the market for 3 days. This on the market came on the market this afternoon, one day. Then it has here bedrooms and baths, square footage, and the status date when the house was actually put on the market. So we're looking here. I already kind of canvassed these other properties here on top, and I'm looking for houses that are similar in square footage to our house, which is 2,300 square feet. So I immediately look over here for the 2,300 square feet range, and there's not a lot. There's 1,500, there's 3,800, there's 2,800, and then there's 2,700. So I've already picked out some of the houses. But what's also really important too is you got to look at the days on market, how long they've been on the market, and exactly whether or not these properties actually have views. So some of them have views, some of them do not have views. So you really have to scrub the list here to see exactly what the houses are that are comparable to yourself. So I've already picked 5 houses out. So these are the houses that I picked off the MLS yesterday, and so I'm looking at here. Remember, our house is 2,300 square feet. So here's the first house that I'm looking at. It has been on the market for 9 days. It has 2 bedrooms, 3 and 3/4 baths, and it's 2,594 square feet. So we have 1 extra bedroom. They have one bedroom less, but their bathroom is a little bit more, and their square footage is just a little bit more than ours. And it's been on the market for 9 days, and it's listed at right now at $1,197,000. So by the way, before I go further, don't be too alarmed by looking at, oh, it's $1 million this, $1 million that. $1 million is not what it used to be. I still think that $1 million is a lot of money, but in today's market, the median price house here in Seattle is about $1 million. The median price house in California, like in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and Los Angeles, is more like $1.5 million. So across the country, depending upon where you are, yeah, your market is probably going to be a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher. But on average, this is no longer a scary price. This is pretty much what $500,000 used to be about 5 or 6 years ago. Because the houses that I've been selling that are selling in the $1 million range today were about $400,000 or $500,000 5 or 6 years ago. So that's where the market has been going at ever since that time period. All right, so the first one here is $1,197,000. The next one here is another one, 2,300 square feet, pretty close to our house. 2 bedrooms, 1 3/4 baths. Been on the market for 3 weeks, and unfortunately, he had a price reduction on this house here. So this was originally $1.4 million. Now it's $1.3 million. So you got to be really careful. This is why you do a CMA, because you're looking at what other prices are currently selling for, and these are actives. These are not pendings. These are not sold. These are active properties that are on the market right now on the MLS. Third one over here, this came up in the market just a couple days ago. Again, you know, a little bit more square footage than ours. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And this one is selling for, this is listing price for $1,200,000, $1,199,000, or just $1.2 million. So those are another ones that I'm looking at. So then you're looking at the solds. And the solds here, the latest one was in May, just a few weeks ago. Now this is about 700 square feet more than our house, 3 bedrooms, 2 1/4 baths. And this one was on the market for 2 weeks, and the listing price here was $975, and it sold for $975. So that is going to be an interesting comp here. So it sold at listing price. There was no higher bids for this house. It didn't go down in price, and it sold within 2 weeks. But then when you look back here, a couple of months, in March 16th, we had a house here, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. This is a waterfront house, though. It's not a bluff property, so it's got an unobstructed view, and it is on the water. and it sold for $860. It listed at $860 and it sold for $1 million. So there you go, $140,000 over list price, and it sold within 3 days. So the waterfront properties are still selling. The block properties are still selling. I don't have a lot of unobstructed views to compare myself to because the market is changing so rapidly. But there are houses that are great, that have been on the market for for a month, a couple weeks, a few days. One house was on the market for 1 day, $5 million, and it was on a waterfront, and it was beautiful property, but it sold in 1 day. Then we also had other properties that had beautiful bluff and waterfront capabilities, and they were on the market for 45 days. So the market is very difficult to gauge right now. That's why it's really important for me to analyze every single metric that I have at my disposal. And one of the things that I also do is I don't just look at these houses here on paper and then on the pictures on the MLS. I actually drive to each home too, to kind of get a visual and exactly what the neighborhood feels like, what the view is really like, if the house is in relatively decent condition, because pictures will only show you so much. Yeah. So a CMA is a process. It's not complicated. It's just involved. It requires the real estate agent and the sellers to do some homework so that they can feel good about the price that they put on that listing and give them the best possible chance of getting the price and the sale that they want. So let's go on the road and let's take a look at some of these houses. So here's our subject property again, and we will compare it to the 5 homes we saw today. We will omit the addresses as some of them have been sold and are no longer active. So there were the 5 homes we used for our CMA comparison to our subject property. The square footage varied, as well as the bedrooms and baths, and of course the views. You may have noticed that most had distant and territorial views, with some better than others. Of course our view was the best, but that doesn't mean another house might come up on the market that will be a direct competitor to ours. So I will look again just before we go live to make extra sure. You just have to do the best you can and come up with a price that you hope the market will bear at that given point in time. So I hope you enjoyed this quick CMA video and you might find it useful in your own sale. Thanks again for watching Realty Rides, and see you guys on the next ride.